people who I used to skate with and travel and spend so much time together.
Today, the figure skating community is mourning the loss of some legends. More than a dozen figure skaters were killed in that midair collision over the Potomac River.
Now people here in St. Louis are mourning their loss. 5 on Your Side's Megan Kernan spoke with a man who knew several of the victims. Megan?
Well, Kay, the Skating Club of Boston says as many as 14 figure skaters could be dead, and several deaths are already confirmed, including 2 coaches, 2 young skaters, and their 2 mothers. We talked to one former Soviet figure skater who lives in St. Louis who says he knows a 3rd coach who was also killed. St. Louis has strong ties to the figure skating community. The U.S. Olympic figure skating trials are coming here in 2026. Now, the St. Louis Sports Commission is bringing the trials to St. Louis. Their president, Mark Schreiber, sent a statement to 5 on Your Side saying, quote, "This hits close to home with our ties to the sport and having been in Wichita for this year's championships. It is very upsetting, and our hearts and thoughts are with our colleagues." Igor Lisowski is a former world-class figure skater champion from Russia who coaches figure skating at the Crèvecourt ice rink. He grew up skating side by side with the well-known Russian couple and coaches Vadim Naumov and Evgenia Shishkova, who perished in the crash. Igor also knew a 3rd victim, Ina Valanskaya, pictured on the right here. Now she's another former figure skating champion. He fears he may know more aboard the plane as more names are released.
I'm for sure it's going to be more, yeah. Why it's getting kind of so sad, you know. Why we know each other, because we see each other every day, 2-3 times in a day, and we know some good stuff, bad stuff about each other.
Now, Igor also said that couple came to St. Louis here in 2006. We've also learned a woman with ties to St. Louis was on board that doomed flight. The woman's father-in-law is Dr. Hashim Raza, a physician at Missouri Baptist Medical Center and graduate of John Burroughs School. He posted on social media that his son's wife died, and he and his family are going to Washington to be with him. We'll hear more from him tonight at 5 and 6.
Their flight path should have been hugging the east bank of the Potomac River, so they should not have been within the flight path of that landing aircraft.
Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth is weighing in on last night's crash. She has experience flying Black Hawk helicopters. She deployed to Iraq back in 2004. Duckworth says the Army helicopter pilots involved in the crash were on visual flight rules. That means they were relying on what they could see and on air traffic control to guide the aircraft. Duckworth says the pilots told air traffic control they were looking for the jet and had it in sight before the crash.
They have a hard deck of 200 feet on that route that they were on, which means that they're not allowed to go above 200 feet mean sea level. So they would be looking up to try to find this aircraft, pick it out of the sky as it's coming in for a landing.
Duckworth says investigators will look into whether one of the aircraft strayed away from its flight paths before the crash.